Welcome to the program. This is the AM News. Let's get into the details. The National Peace Council is urging religious leaders to desist from using unsavory comments with the potential of inciting electoral violence as the country prepares for general elections in December. Chairman of the Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, emphasized the charge bestowed on ministers of the Church to protect the peace and stability of the country. Speaking at this year's Ministers' Conference of the Ghana Baptist Church, Reverend Dr. Edujemfi charged church leaders to harness their platforms to encourage cohesion among members of the Christian fraternity. There's more in this report.
The 61st Annual Refresher Course, Retreat and Business of the Ghana Baptist Ministers' Conference was held on the theme Ministerial Ethics, Accountability and Responsibility in the 21st Century Church. Speaking on the theme, Chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, emphasized on the crucial role of the church in nation building. As the general election beckons, he noted the responsibility of the clergy in promoting peace and refraining from spiteful comments.
Every minister of the gospel will understand that we have a responsibility to protect the peace, stability, and unity of our country. That whatever we do in this country, we must ensure that we maintain the peace, the stability, and the cohesion of our country.
A nation predominated by Christians, the Christian fraternity has been admonished to remain disciplined in the discharge of their duties. President of the Ghana Baptist Ministers' Conference, Reverend Dr. Charles Owusu-Ampofo, charged political leaders and the government to uphold the statutes of truthfulness and accountability.
We model our political leaders, those who make decisions for our nation. And so we preach to them, we send them messages. When things are not good, we do send messages. Sometimes in occasions like this, we speak to them through this media for them to know that Ghana belongs to all of us.
Adding to calls for a peaceful election, guest speaker at the event, Haruna Adolate, admonished actors in the elections to consider a collective win for the country through circumspection.
Pastors, men of God, politicians and everybody, we must conduct ourselves in a way to save the country and not to break the country.
For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweko.
Meanwhile, former Minority Leader in Parliament, Haruna Iddrisu, has averred that the National Democratic Congress will win 2024 general election because the party stands on the side of morality, truth, and above all, a proven track record of the party and its flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. In addition, he said the NDC is determined to win all 11 parliamentary seats in the Upper West region. The Tamale South Legislature made the statement at the capacity building workshop for NDC party communicators in the region. JoyNews Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
The former minority leader in parliament, Haruna Iddrisu, averred that the National Democratic Congress (NDC), led by former President John Dramani Mahama, is on course to being returned to power based on the following reasons.
Because we stand on the side of morality, we stand strong on the side of truth, and we are proud of our legacy as a party and government in the past, with President John Dramani Mahama as fourth president of the Fourth Republic and our candidate for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary election.
Haruna Iddrisu opined that the NDC is poised to capturing all 11 parliamentary seats in the Upper West region, starting from the Lambuse constituency, which is said has already fallen to the NDC, with the London constituency next on the line. The NDC currently holds 8 out of the 11 parliamentary seats in the Upper West region.
We are determined to capture all the 11 seats in the Upper West region. At least from my briefing and from information available to me, Lambose is already in the basket. We can add that on. And and we are narrowing on to strategy to get Nandom in, and we are determined to win all 11 seats, and then also in the Sisala area. Myself have been playing some quiet diplomatic role, reconciling the previous Sisala candidate with the NDC candidate, and they are working together now, as you can see on the ground. And we are quite satisfied with the performance of the NDC in the Upper West region. At least we didn't borrow as recklessly as they have. 600 billion against 120 billion, a debt to GDP which is unprecedented. So Nana Addo Dankwa and Dr. Bawumia have only moved Ghana from Ghana beyond aid to Ghana beyond borrowing. You know that they can't borrow again themselves, and they are making it impossible for the country to rely on external borrowing to finance budget and to deal with deficit. And we are aware that President John Dramani Mahama will inherit a problematic economy to manage, and effort will be to stabilize the economy and back on major constitutional and administrative reforms that strengthen institutions of Ghana, and more importantly, determine what the future of the country would be. The Upper West region, as you all know, is my second home. We are always proud of their sacrifices and contribution to the NDC, and at least it's on the walls that you can see that the NDC will do better and super in the 2024 elections.
The Tamale South legislature then goes after the juggler of vice president and flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, stating that he will suffer to remove the attack of being a habitual lying politician and also the linking himself from the failures of the MPP government.
As for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he will suffer from a credibility problem as a habitual lying politician. You just make promises. You don't do that. You must have honor when you make promises, and you can't honor them. You apologize to the Ghanaian people, or you hold strong in saying that I take responsibility. He cannot be claiming now to be dissociating himself from the Nana Addo Dankwa government and their performance or achievement. If he doesn't want to share their failings, he shouldn't share their success. God bless.
Also present was the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, who donated 11 motorbikes to the party on behalf of the 2024 flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, for onward distribution to the 11 communications bureau in the region. Sami Jemfi chastised the MPP for failing to deliver on promises made to Ghanaians.
The ruling MPP government has flattered to deceive on all their major promises. They have betrayed the trust of Ghanaians, and they have violated their social contract with the people of Ghana. And it is the reason why Ghanaians are all suffering, irrespective of one political affiliation. And so all Ghanaians are united in grief, calling for change in the direction of this country. And who better to give us that change than a man who has been tried and tested, the visionary nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has a proven track record and the vision that can bring about the transformation and the prosperity we are all yearning for.
Reporting for JoyNews,
As a symbol,
Rafik Salam. Wow.
Now, still on the Northern Belt, the head of Department, Media and Communication Studies at the Tamale Technical University, Dr. Jacob Abudu, has indicated that social media has become extremely powerful as against the traditional media, making it a tool to spread information very fast. He said because of how it can spread information very fast, there is a need for all to be cautious in its use to spread information, especially ahead of December polls. Dr. Abudu said this at a forum to discuss disinformation and misinformation and how they affect the peace and security of the northern region.
The forum brought together media experts, the security, people with disabilities, youth wings of the various political parties and civil society organizations to deliberate about countering misinformation and disinformation for peace, security, and development in Ghana. Speaking on the sidelines of the event, Dr. Jacob Abudu said if the country wants to ensure its peace, then there is the need to fact-check information.
In a political season, and the propaganda wings of the political parties will definitely churn out information that are not true, that is deliberate. That is one. And secondly, we also have misinformation. Misinformation is also fake news, news that is not true, but the difference is that that is not deliberate. I've indicated that the social media platforms or digital media has become extremely powerful these days as against the traditional media, and information is quickly churned out on social media. So the point is that what role would the media play? And what role should individuals play relative to the misinformation and disinformation if we want to keep peace and security within our country? I am saying the first thing that we need to do is to fact check the information that's been channeled. Is it true? Is it not true? We need to check before we as it were, take it in. For those who use social media, they have to be pretty careful. It's not every information that comes at you and you have to, as it were, forward it to some other persons. Check, is it true? If it's not true, don't do it. If you do it, that is going to be very dangerous.
Team lead of Kongita, Reverend Father Dr. Clement Ampenongmeang, said when it comes to countering misinformation and disinformation, it is a shared responsibility.
And we are saying that when it comes to countering misinformation and disinformation, it's a shared responsibility. We are all together in this. Today we have looked at the role of the media and the role of civil society, in countering misinformation and disinformation. And we are looking at how can we create education and awareness, how can we create systems, context-specific systems that allow us to fact-check this information. But above all, we are asking each one to make the effort. If you are not sure about the information, don't pass it on. Because
Executive Director of the Savannah Signatures, Dr. Stephen Agbenyo, said they are worried that technology is being used as a tool to propagate misinformation.
We want to ensure that everyone in our society have access to tools that they can leverage on to be able to thrive in their various communities. And we believe that this is a crucial year, election year, and as an organization that is also primarily focused on leveraging on technology, we are worried that technology is also being used as a tool for propagating misinformation and disinformation. That is one. The second reason is that we are worried that the people that will work in the environment that will work in, if misinformation and disinformation is not checked this year, it may impact on the lives and livelihoods of people. It's as a result of these tools, technology, and the fact that we need to create an enabling environment for our communities to thrive, that we are pumping resources into having a session such as this.
Again, from the Northern Belt, 1 million livestock across 5 regions in the Northern region have been targeted for vaccination against anthrax disease. This project is being spearheaded by USAID in collaboration with Central Veterinary Laboratory in Pong, Tamale. These organizations say they are fighting the disease head-on after it caused the death of several animals and more than 10 people last year. Martina Bugri has more in the following report.
The United States Agency for International Development and the Ghana government have launched the first mass anthrax vaccination campaign in the northern region. To help ensure the success of the campaign, the USAID donated 100,000 doses of the anthrax vaccines to support the campaign. Last year, Ghana experienced an outbreak of anthrax affecting 6 districts in the Upper East region, whilst a total of over 100 animals died as a result. About 13 human anthrax cases were also detected, including 1 death. Speaking at the launch of the campaign in Saviligu, the mission director of the USAID, Kimberly Rosin, urged government and other development partners to sustain the campaign to ensure its success.
Anthrax outbreak here in the Upper East region that killed 1 person and killed 97 animals. So thankfully, again, to the quick action to the government of Ghana and other partners, including us at USAID, we were able to contain the outbreak and minimize the loss of life. These unfortunate and avoidable deaths and infections remind us of the importance of regular vaccine campaigns.
The Deputy Director of Veterinary Service Department, Dr. Benita Anderson, who spoke on behalf of the Chief Veterinary Officer, said anthrax is not only posing a grave risk to animals but also to humans.
Today marks a significant milestone in the ongoing efforts to safeguard the health and well-being of our livestock and communities. But today, we stand united in our resolve to confront this threat head-on.
The Food and Agriculture Organization's representative to Ghana, Benjamin Ejay, expressed worry over the periodic occurrence of the anthrax disease in the country.
Yes, unfortunate but very disturbing that anthrax vaccines are produced under our nose here. Yet, anthrax periodically occurs in the north, impacting heavily on both human and animal lives and disrupting economic activities along the livestock value chain.
In other stories, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso Bachi, has reiterated government's commitment towards improving the deplorable road networks across the Bono East Enclave. The minister, who was speaking during this maiden tour of the area, Anasabit, has more in this report.
The Minister for Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso Bachi, has reiterated government's commitment towards improving the status of the various road networks across the Bono East Enclave. The minister, who was on a tour of the region to assess the state of the road network in the area, began with an inspection of the abandoned Techiman-Boyam road network, which was started in the year 2015, where he noted that the road network remained a priority to government.
I started from Techiman North, in a beautiful stony town called Boyam, and moved from there to Asoyi. This is a very important town in the Techiman traditional area where the people are calling for their road to be constructed.
The team then went through the Nkranza North district before ending on the famous Atebubu-Kwame-Danso stretch, which was awarded to contract by the Nana-Addo-led government before the 2020 elections, before being abandoned by the contractor a few months after the polls, leaving the stretch into a sorry state. Mr. Asenso Bachi said the Atebubu-Kwame-Danso stretch continued to be a priority to government as it facilitates the transportation of farm produce from the eastern part of the region to other parts of the country.
From there, we came to Atebubu, and from Atebubu, we've come all the way through Kwame-Danso to Juan. This is a very important area. It's a booming farming community. Sugar cane plantation and vegetable farming in this area.
Abdurrahim Mahama is the project manager for Jasmo Construction, who are in charge of the Atebubu-Kwame-Danso road. He says the delay in the completion of the project is as a result of financial constraints and asks that soon the contractors will be on site to continue with its work.
The project starts from Atebubu, it ends at Kwame-Danso, and about 35 kilometers. Currently, we've done about 10 kilometers of primary civil, which we are left about 20 kilometers of earthworks and ceiling to do. It's because of financial or cash flows, we were having challenges. So that's why you are seeing parts being deteriorated.
Also part of the minister's tour is the Deputy Roads Minister, Stephen Jelula, who doubles as the Member of Parliament for Pro West constituency, which is also in the Bono East region. Anasabit, JoyNews, Atebubu.
Moving on, JoyNews Erastus Asare Donko, Father Campbell, former Speaker of Parliament, were among national achievers given a maiden distinguished award by the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship in Accra. JoyNews' Erastus Asare Donko received a distinguished honor for the fight against illegal mining and environmental sustainability. At the maiden distinguished award series organized by the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship in Accra, Erastus received the honor for his exemplary role in the fight against illegal mining in parts of the country. He has assured that such recognition will spur him on to intensify the fight. He also used the opportunity to invite other key stakeholders to join the fight. Here's more from the awards ceremony.
And the award goes to Mr. Erastus Asare Donko.
Mr. Erastus Asaridonko.
The Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, established many decades ago, has introduced a new award scheme known as the Footprint Awards. This initiative aims to recognize both members and non-members who have made significant contributions to society, leaving a lasting impact on generations. Under the theme of recognizing excellence and integrity, the organization seeks to highlight the positive influence and exemplary lives of the awardees for the benefit of future generations. JoyNews' Erastus Asaridonko was among the distinguished individuals honored with an award for his unwavering commitment to combating illegal mining and advocating for environmental sustainability. In an interview, he expressed gratitude for the recognition, viewing it as a motivating force in his campaign.
Every major river or stream is highly poisoned with heavy metals from irresponsible mining. I think it should be an emergency for the whole country, but unfortunately it's not. It's not even getting #1 spot with regards to media attention in the country. And so awards like this tell you that do not give up. It tells you that we are the last frontier and we should not give up. We should still keep on doing it, what we are doing. We should amplify the voices. But I'm using this opportunity to invite all media houses, all journalists, that this is about our existence.
Addressing the members, President Francis Owusu emphasized the importance of such honors in shaping societal values and aspirations.
The Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International was established over 70 years ago in California, the United States of America, and now exists in over 90 nations around the world. This fellowship has made great impacts in these nations by transforming the lives of countless people, using God's power in our testimonies. We are gathered to give honor where honor is due, because it is important that we honor people, and God is pleased with it. Therefore, I want to thank you all and thank the leadership for inviting my wife and I, the International Ladies Coordinator, Jennifer, who's here with me, to be part of this celebration.
Among the other notable award recipients of the evening were Reverend Father Campbell, former Speaker of Parliament Professor Aaron Michael Quay, and the current Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin.
And lastly, for this bulletin, the seat of government on Saturday moved to the Akan constituency in the Oti region to formally mourn the late Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, Rashid Bawa. The president and his vice were in attendance to remember the late diplomat and console the family. Correspondent Peter Senu has more in the following report.
The news of the passing of the diplomat reached the constituency on the 14th of March 2024. On the 15th of March, he was laid to rest at his residence at Kijebi, according to Islamic traditions and belief. Full government machinery moved to the constituency to officially mourn with the family on Saturday. This is what the vice president has to say to the family.
We want to pray for our mother and ask that Allah gives her the patience and the strength to bear this loss. It's a big loss. We are all the children. We are all going to be there to support her.
Yahaya Bawa is the eldest of the Bawers and spoke on behalf of the family.
It is indeed a great honor to receive the guests that represents the government of the Republic of Ghana.
The vice president later signed the book of condolence before moving to the funeral grounds. Former party chairman Freddie Blake eulogized the late ambassador and commissioner.
We're very good friends. It was almost every day in my house, or I was in his house. Honestly, until he went to Nigeria, we were almost on a daily basis seeing each other. It's a pity
is dead. Today, we are mourning him.
To them, and very devastating.
To say our family is devastated with the loss of Rashid is a complete understatement. We are shattered and depressed. Rashidi was notably brilliant, an uncommon scholar, and an intellectual. He was a mentor and still serves as a major inspirer to the youth in KJV and beyond. It is therefore not surprising that the youth continuously agitated for his comeback to lead the community once again in Parliament.
For the children, he was such a fun daddy to be with, and with a high sense of discipline.
We have come to acknowledge his painful exit from our lives. We have lost a leader, a father, a personal confidant, coach, and a best friend.
The political jostling to replace him has heightened, with 2 party members declaring their intentions to replace him. We bring you more in subsequent bulletins. Peter Senu for JoyNews.
And that's how we are wrapping up for the AM News on the AM show. Suleiman Abrahima is our guest for the news review. You want to stick with us.